Could your inflatable paddleboard explode while you're on the water? All inflatable paddleboards will eventually fail when the glue gives out. And when that happens, it's usually quite dramatic. Typically, it'll be on the first hot day of a new season. You've pumped your board up, you've left it out in the yard or the car park or on the beach. The board gets hot, the air inside increases in pressure just a little bit, but it's enough to find that point on the seam where the glue is at its weakest, and whoosh, the seam just lets go. It's not bang like a balloon bursting. It's more of a strange kind of roar. I've heard literally hundreds of inflatable paddleboards fail like this over the years, and the noise is never quite the same. But certainly what you can say for sure is that it's loud, quite shocking, and the board is finished, dead. Yes, you can re-glue a failed seam, but almost invariably the reason it's failed is because the glue in your board has reached the end of its life, and therefore if you fix it in one place, it's just going to fail in another. So the big question is, could this actually happen on the water? The general consensus used to be no, it would always happen on land when the board was at its hottest. However, in the research I did for my books on paddleboarding safety, I did end up discovering a few cases of boards failing on the water. Only a few. 99.9% of inflatable paddleboards will fail on land, but a few have burst on the water. However, what I also discovered was that in almost every case, it was actually quite a new board, sometimes out on its very first trip. So I think what's happening here is more of a manufacturing fault. This is the first time the board has been put under severe load from internal pressure, and it's found just a little weakness on a seam where the glue hadn't been properly applied, and boom. Usually it happens on a lower cost board where the quality of glue and manufacturing isn't so high anyway, but not always. Every paddleboard brand, however good they are, will have a few manufacturing fails. It's just inevitable when you're building a textile product. Every brand sees a few returns each year. So the bottom line is that the risk of your inflatable paddleboard exploding while you're on the water is really, really low. And actually, if it is going to go, it's almost certainly going to go in the first couple of times out. So probably the smart advice is just don't go too far offshore on your first few paddles on a new board.